And she was like, and she was a lot different from what we had imagined her to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was like a crazy cat lady.
No, not a cat. It was a pet rat.
In terms of apartments, the worst one that I was actually on the lease for, we actually had to take the landlord to court and sue her.
Oh my!
Because we said we're leaving, and she's like, "You never told me that." And then we're like, black mold on the wall. And my wife was pregnant at the time, so that wasn't much fun. But I stayed at a friend's house for once for a while when I was here in Korea. I was on my holidays, vacation, kind of between university, and he's like, I've got a room you can stay in. And he was living on the top floor of where his parents lived. And I'm like, cool, I don't have to pay rent, and I've got a place to stay to crash. And it was in Hongdae area, so it was kind of like, hopping, and I had places to go out and party at the time. But for some reason, that winter, it was incredibly cold, and I don't think the heating worked very well because the toilet bowl used to freeze.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And it used to get so cold that we drink bottles of Gatorade primarily because the way the bottle is made, it has quite a large neck to it as opposed to some of the smaller ones. And when we'd come back the next day, there'd be lines of Gatorade bottles that were half filled with yellow liquid.
Oh, no.
Because it was so cold that we couldn't really be bothered going out to the toilet, the frozen toilet.
Yuck.
And then there was a time when a rat climbed out of the roof and ran across the floor.
Fun.
Yeah. So that was kind of weird.
I think I have a better story now. Let me try and... So, okay, context-wise, I was on tour in the U.S., not for music. I was working for this nonprofit organization, and we were trying to end child soldiering in Eastern Africa. And we all got into teams of 4. This organization put us into teams of 4, and we had to tour the U.S., book our own documentary screenings and fundraise money.
Oh, wow.
And we also had to book our own housing as well. So we stayed on a lot of dorm room floors, people's houses, apartments, guest rooms at churches, mosques. We stayed at a mansion once in Atlanta. That was really fun. But this one time we were somewhere in the middle of Florida. And, I don't remember what place it was, but we ended up staying at this person who booked the screening for us at her college. And she was like, oh, if you guys need a place to stay, you guys can stay with us. And so when we got to her place, it was like a little house. Her parents had gone to bed because we rolled in super late, around 11 p.m. at night. And we got there, and she had this air bed, air mattress thing out for us in the middle, a big one. And then she had this snacks laid out for us, but it looked like it was out there for hours. She had nacho cheese and but the cheese had congealed into a gelatinous mess. And she was she was a lot different from what we had imagined her to look like. And
she was like a crazy cat lady.
Not a cat. It was a pet rat.
Oh,
and so she was just, and
she brought it out.
Did it sit on her shoulder by any chance?
So it was right. It was late at night, right? And so we wanted to go to bed because we had to wake up early the next morning. And the whole time she just sat in a chair next, watching us, petting her pet rat, and just watching us,
watching you guys sleep.
And we're just getting ready for bed, and we're
some creepy silence of lamb shit.
And so we ended up I think we have to go somewhere, and we ended up making an excuse to
leave early,
and we went to the nearest Walmart and slept in the parking lot in our 16-passenger van.
Wow,
because we were this is not something we want to risk. Yeah,
that's creepy.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
We met a lot of interesting people on the road. It was a 10-week tour, but
That sounds like
Yeah.
something out of American Horror Story.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're
There's some.
right.
I mean, there's some fun stories there. Oh, so many gas station stories.
Hope you enjoyed the clip. If you did, listen to the full episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel, Dive Studios, and put those notifications on. Hit that bell.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.